The case is diabetes mellitus type 2. This is an irregular way the body uptakes sugar. This will result in a chronic illness. Over time, the cardiovascular, neurological, and immune systems will cause issues from excess blood sugar. Type 2 has two issues. It causes the insulin to not be produced, and it also causes cells not to absorb insulin. As a result, we are treated with saxagliptin, a hormone version of ADH.
Please state your name and your system.
I'm Mr. White. I'm the nervous system.
Mr. White, you say. What are your structures and components?
I have the brain, I have the spinal cord, I got a whole bunch of nerves. There's a whole bunch of stuff that goes into me. I do a whole bunch of stuff.
Bunch of stuff you say, Mr. White. What are your functions?
I basically send information to the other organs to tell them what to do. I tell everything what to do. I release neurotransmitters. I do a whole bunch of stuff. I have multiple components. I have the central nervous system, which is like your brain and spinal cord. I also got the peripheral nervous system, which is like all the other stuff, all the other nerves, you know.
So you know what makes up the central nervous system, but you said all types of other stuff. What exactly makes up the peripheral nervous system, Mr. White?
So I got the 43 paired nerves. Those include the spinal nerves that go down your spine. We got the cranial nerves, which are like in your brain somehow. We also got the autonomic nerves. And those are the nerves that are like in between it that your skin's connected to. It's a whole bunch of stuff.
State your name and system.
I'm Mr. Orange. I'm the endocrine system.
Mr. Orange, list your structures and components.
So I'm into the hormones. I have a whole bunch of glands and stuff. They release and produce the hormones.
Mr. Orange, list your functions.
So basically, I'm the main communication, one of the main ones at least. I also do a bunch of regulatory stuff. I maintain homeostasis, so that means I do a whole bunch of stuff with like cellular activity, regulating that and stuff. Will you please state your name and your system?
I'm Mr. Yellow, and I'm the urinary system.
All right, Mr. Yellow, what are your structures?
My structures include the kidneys, the urinary bladder, the ureters, and the urethra.
All right, Mr. Yellow, what are your functions?
My job is to eliminate nitrogenous waste from the body. The kidneys itself, they act as a filter so they can create urine so it can pass through the ureters that are tubular-like structures that connect the kidneys to the urinary bladder. The urinary bladder kind of acts like as a storage place for the urine, so eventually it can pass through the urethra so it can exit the body.
Please state your name and system.
My name is Mr. Black, and I'm the digestive system.
All right, Mr. Black, will you please state your structures and components?
So my structures and components include the oral cavity, the pharynx, the esophagus, the stomach, the small and large intestines, and the rectum and the anus. And I also got some accessory organs that include the liver, the pancreas, and the gallbladder.
All right, Mr. Black, what are your functions?
Well, my main function is mainly to break down food into absorbable nutrients so the body can use those nutrients for growth, repair, and energy.
Will you please state your name and system?
I'm Mr. Blue. I'm the cardiovascular system.
All right, Mr. Blue, what are your components?
My components are the heart, blood, and the blood vessels.
All right, Mr. Blue, what are your functions?
Its primary function is to transport nutrients and oxygen-rich blood to all parts of the body and to carry deoxygenated blood back to the lungs.
Will you please state your name and system?
Mr. Pink, I'm the respiratory system.
All right, Mr. Pink, will you please state your components?
My components are the nasal cavity, the oral cavity, the trachea, the bronchus, the lungs, the larynx, and the pharynx.
All right, Mr. Pink, what are your functions?
I supply the body with oxygen and remove waste gas such as carbon dioxide.
It's him.
Mr. Orange, how did you do it?
All I really had to do was cause the cells not to be able to really pick up insulin. It wasn't that hard. And then the pancreas, it isn't producing insulin. We good. So now that blood sugar rises, it can cause him to die eventually. That's what I want. I want him to die.